Most people don't have game, but I'm gonna give you free game. It's the Free Game Podcast. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We're gonna watch the recent update of Bruce Rivers analyzing Andrew Tate's case, and I put some pictures on screen. If you can pay attention and catch it, you caught it, but it's no words to be explained. Y'all know what's going on, right? Y'all know what's going on. Don't act surprised. Pay attention. Pay attention to everything. Pay attention to everything that's going on.
Reacting to the judge's order on Andrew Tate. I've gotten some backlash from some incels on our channel about Andrew Tate. I had one guy say, so sad that a lawyer is jealous of Andrew Tate. He'll never reach his level. I hope not. I don't want to be in a Romanian jail cell where 56 other guys are in the same toilet that's in the middle of the fucking room. I hope I don't reach his level. Some of the detractors have been saying that.
Now, it's interesting that he don't really like Andrew Tate. He don't like him. So he already have a judgment against him. Now, if this lawyer here in America doesn't like Andrew Tate, imagine all the other people who don't like Andrew Tate in higher positions. Just imagine. If y'all don't think he have a network of people that he's talking to, then you have to be crazy.
I take things out of context and, what color is your Bugatti? And whatever. And so I am going to kind of break down what the judge said. And I think I already did a thing about taking things out of context. But let's talk about what the judge focused on in determining the decision to keep him detained. First of all, Romania is a country that's part of the International Convention Against Sex Trafficking. So they're trying to standardize things across the globe because sex trafficking by its nature is borderless. In other words, if everybody has the same type of structure against sex trafficking, it should work as a kind of a global thing to prevent it. If there's a safe haven for sex traffickers, that's where they'll go. So that's what the idea is between that international convention. First, the judge references the definition of human trafficking and the protocol regarding prevention and repression and punishment. Human trafficking, especially of women and children, in addition to the United Nations Convention. The judge starts out by talking about the definition and where the law comes from. But then he starts talking about concrete danger for the public that they present. And even if the defendants are not known with criminal past, the charge represents a state of normality that cannot justify, in context of the present case, the release of the defendants at this procedural moment in relation to the high gravity of the alleged crime of human trafficking and the creation of a criminal group organized for which they are investigated. And then the other thing he talks about in the order is the judge talks about, we had that stuff that had happened in London. Well, the judge says even though that's not a crime, it cannot be ignored. So he's using that, and he fled to this jurisdiction, and he's also using the fact that he's talked in videos and flaunting flight. He talks about that in his order.
If I fuck up and England wants me in jail, I can fly on a Nigerian passport, or an American, or an English, or a Polish, or an Estonian. I have so many passports. What, are you going to block them all?
Everything he...
Now, right here, this where you be quiet. Don't ever tell your moves before you make them. Don't ever say you got this many passports and you trying to get away from crime. Don't ever say that. Keep it on the low, be quiet, don't say shit.
Is doing is consistent. But here's even the kicker. Looking at private videos that are part of the police file, from the the following passages from the context of this content, there is no doubt a deep lack of respect for the legal norms and a total indifference to the social protected values that the defendant gives proof of.
Oh no, not a court in Romania. Internationally respected Romanian courts. Put me in jail.
Get me out of jail. The law says you're guilty. I said get me out of jail. Don't go see a lawyer to talk about the law. I have committed multiple felonies. How much does it cost to make this all go away?
But also the attitude of disregard towards women in general, which he perceives only as a mean of getting his content released. In other words, making money. The judge cannot agree with the support of the defense in the sense that the video contents presents only one character and cannot be taken into account since the defendant exhibits the same attitude in their relations with the injured persons and is evident from the content of the conversations that are in these criminal prosecution files. The defense had made an argument. You can't really look at what he's saying on those videos because that's just a character that he's playing. Well, the judge has also looked at some private files, and the judge says, I can't ignore it. You know, you look in some of the thing, he shows you his 7 passports. I mean, who has 7 passports? And if you look at, we'll show you some video in a minute about the search.
See, judges follow the law when it's convenient for them, right? Why not have 7 passports? Why isn't it my right to have 7 passports? So why is it being considered in court? Is a right. Is a right to have passport.
You look at the guns, you look at the passports, you look at all the other things that are on the table. He's ready to rock and roll. I mean, why does he need all this stuff? Well, I'll tell you why. Because he fled one jurisdiction, and he's worried about people coming after him. Cops in general. Regarding the need to prevent the commission of another crime, purpose mentioned and enumerated paragraph 202, blah, blah, blah. The judge notes the situation by which his conduct prior to committing the act is the subject of the case. The defendant proves the real risk of repeat criminal behavior. The judge is basically saying is, if you look at some of the recent statements put out by his camp, Andrew Tate has nothing but the utmost respect for law and authority, nothing but the most respect for the Romanian courts.
Oh no, not a court in Romania.
Of course they're going to say that now, but what did he flaunted it on his video. He absolutely flaunted it. Andrew Tate's videos that he made are completely biting him in the ass. When somebody tells you who they are, believe them. When Andrew Tate tells you he's got 7 passports because he could go to Romania, I could go to Bulgaria, I could go to Sudan, wherever the fuck he says he's going to go. He's so full of shit. You know, and the thing that kills me, honestly, about this guy in general is the hubris. And he not only preys on these women, but he preys on these young guys with no self-esteem, and they just think he's the bee's knees. Oh, look, he's driving a Bugatti, you know, and he's doing this, he's doing that, and he just has money, hand over fist. Well, you can make money hand over fist, but if you have to look over your shoulder, that's called short money. It's absolutely short money. And so anybody out there who's paying $50 a month to Hustle University, which I don't think exists anymore, is someone that needs to look elsewhere for motivation and support. In that motivation that you're looking for, look at what he did. He started out being successful as a fighter. You don't make a lot of money as a professional kickboxer. He wound up with, when he got done with the fight game, he had 70 grand to his name. He blew 30 of it trying to gamble it to try to get a place in Thailand, and it was left with $40,000 left. He was going for the quick money. He was selling drugs for a short time.
But fighting wasn't paying the bills, sold drugs, whatever.
And then he does this webcam thing and didn't do it. I mean, the webcam business is not illegal by itself. But to do it the way he did it, and with the deception and the fraud that he engaged in, because that's his MO. That's his MO. He has to get the quick money because he didn't have the skill. Why, you know, I want to say he didn't have the skill set to do it right, but he probably did. But just he got greedy, and you know, I mean, why would you tie up all your money in 33 cars, as he said? I think they just seized another 4 vehicles. He's put himself in a very vulnerable position by engaging in criminal activity. When you break the law, you give the government a foray into your life, right? You just do, because you give the government the ability to then control your life and who's controlling where he is and what he's doing. Had he done this the proper way, and I don't know what that means exactly because I'm not in the webcam business. The guys that are looking at him as an idol, and there are a lot of you out there. I don't have, Bugatti money. But you know what? If I had to do what Andrew Tate did, I wouldn't want Bugatti money. Even if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't fucking buy a Bugatti. When you set up your program, whatever your program is, go to work, start your own business, whatever you're doing, you got to do it so that it isn't like Andrew. He's vulnerable himself, okay? Let's look at what he did. His first victims were addicts, right? Drug addicts. Second victims, and he's always doing something in the back of people. The second victim.
Look here, guys. Andrew Tate is basically a modern day pimp. They're not saying that he was running this sex operation. Well, that's what they're saying, but in reality, he's just a modern day pimp. And if he get convicted, that's basically what he's going to get convicted like. He say he's facing 14 years in jail, but he won't get 14 years. And of course, it's not about the 14 years. It's about killing the Messiah. It's about killing the uprise of masculinity. Now, you have these women who want to see Andrew Tate and Kevin Samuel and all these other people go through it. Kobe. But look, anyone that doesn't bend their will, or bend the knee to the agenda will be served appropriately. Now, here's the thing. We are in a war. Both men and women are in war. And only the dead doesn't realize that we're in a war. We're definitely battling the elite. And only way we can combat this war is we all come together. This is where color, gender doesn't matter. Black and white doesn't matter. If anybody bucks against the system, they're going to get crushed. This is where you need family. This is where you need to program your own family. That's why they want to break the family up so much. Andrew Tate talked too much for them. Andrew went out on a limb too far, and they have to spank him. Because the people who following his movement, us the people, can't do shit. He already said that they'll try to bring frivolous charges against me. But it's nothing we can do because we don't stick together. The women are celebrating. Yes, Kevin Samuel died. Yes, Andrew Tate is in jail. But wait until it's your son. Wait until it's you. We're at war. Don't forget that. Most people don't have game, but I'm going to give you free game. It's a free game podcast. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button.